hidden, forgotten. This is Harbor Town. Harbor Town is an all-new series from Miniature Building Authority, the leader in tabletop gaming scenery. Unique, flexible, and playable, Harbor Town will take your games to a new destination.
you love that melancholy Elvin music? I forgot to turn my mic back on.
I didn't hear any music.
Really? Well, hopefully someone heard the music. At least you can hear me, right? So.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are getting it through Twitch. Probably heard it. I got it through Skype, so I didn't hear it.
Oh, that's right. You don't have. Okay, you only have the Skype connection. Thanks, Anna. Glad you're on. So, all right. My apologies up front. Got really sick after our broadcast Thursday, starting on Friday afternoon. So we had to push back our show, delving into the damage dealer a week. And you can hear I still have it a little bit. So, yeah, no, it's good to see you on, too. You hear it in my chest a little bit. So if I have an attack and I got to run out that door, coughing fit, I'm going to go right back to that scene, okay? And I'll be right back on. I'll just hit the mic off, boom, and go out if I have to, all right? So, but thanks, and yeah, most part, I'm back to myself, Tom, and I'm glad to see everyone on. Everyone's going to do me a big favor tonight. I noticed some of the analytics we have done. We're like one chatter. We need to do 10 people chatting at the same time to get some more VIP badges because I want to get more out. I don't have any more to give out. So at some point, we can get like 8 or 9, 10 people chatting at once. We'll get more VIP badges. It's ridiculous, but that's the way Twitch does things. So let's take care of some business here. It says 422. Goal is 425 for the end of the year. So take care of some quickie business here. You know, it's been moving on great, and thanks a lot for jumping on here. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about this end of the year review. I've been, I don't know if blessed is the right word, but it's been so much fun, everything that we've been doing. Here comes another one. So these are all new followers since our last broadcast. Having the time of my life, and that's some of the things I want to talk about here. And so one more, if we get one more, we'll be at that goal of 425, which we moved the goal up. How many times, Bill? 7 times this month? You know, something crazy. So, yeah. So, it's been great, and thank you. And we're right there. So, another thing was, at the end of Thursday, Skagith cheered 1001. I'm going to randomly give out those to hero points on Thursday night. 1 point to the new group and 1 point to the second group that will be running later on in the night, but no NPCs will be in that, so that'll take care of that. So we're only 250 points away, cheer away from another hero point. All right, so 2018. I got a lot of things running. So I got some screens up. I got some great picks up. We started 2018 not streaming, not doing anything, just playing our normal game. And we started a new group of firsts right around the end of 2017 and into 2018. And that was the group called what, Bill?
Well, we were doing Iron Brigade.
Yes, and we were doing their feeder group. So we created a joint feeder group, Iron Fury.
Oh, yeah, we're talking Iron Fury.
Yeah. I got all the adventures we've done up in our calendar, our timeline since 799 to present 840. We're looking about in this range right here is where we are at the beginning of 2018. So we may bounce around a lot. If anyone has any questions, we'll go back and forth on events, questions. It doesn't matter. This is going to be very impromptu, but I wanted to just show you all the stuff some of the stuff that some of you missed streaming, and some of the great stuff just to get a synopsis on it. What a fantastic year 2018 has been. So we were running this. Expeditions to the Ruins of Greyhawk. And I think it was I was shocked when I got it because it was 3.5. I was worried, and I was like, as I delved into it, and I was like, this is fantastic. This has really got some great storylines, some great interconnections. I got to get this into our campaign somehow. So I got it done, and we started running it, and then realized we're going to do new firsts. So let's tie in the new firsts as basically a feeder group of the Iron Brigade, which is one of our first ever adventuring groups, and the one that they free Tensor and Return of the Eight. They've done all the big things out of Greyhawk, and so we started doing that at the beginning of the year, and we were running like back and forth between Iron Brigade and Iron Fury adventures, kind of like setting up low-level stuff that would give some answers to the high-level guys, which was kind of a cool concept. And I wish that we had brought that out, a year ago and started doing that and showing, that, because that was neat, man, back then, what we were doing. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, like I said, it was only a year ago with 2 adventuring groups, a low-level group actually working on behalf of a higher-level group for the most part, and a lot of characters.
Actually, 3 adventuring groups.
Yes, if you count the Greyhawk Kids group, that your son and my son.
Was also helping them.
Absolutely, they did a lot of great stuff for that too. You were absolutely correct. So we have, and I don't, bring this out that much, but we have a group just called Greyhawk Kids. It's the Gnarlymen now, and my son plays, Bill's son plays, and occasionally one of our other players like Mark or Alan will hop in, and we have a group of adventurers. And my son has a fighter, and his son has a ranger. And that's a lot of fun too, and we play that every couple months and on a weekend. Have a blast with that. So, but they were assisting as well. That's a great point, man. So we got to a point in that adventure where I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but you kill Vane, then Ian shows up. He resurrects Vane and kills him again in front of you, right? And then the greatest thing in the world happens to him. Let's see if we passed it already here. We may have passed it. We just passed it. He actually gets re-imprisoned in that prison that Zagig placed in Greyhawk. I'm scanning through here. Here's a picture of it right there. He actually gets re-imprisoned in Greyhawk, but doesn't. The party doesn't do it, which is really cool. And it turns out that Vane had created a powerful simulacrum to gain sentience of Igwolf. And then there was this demoness named Lavashti running around, and you had to deal with them. And that was pretty nasty at the end, dealing with those two. That was a great high-level / low-level combo adventure. We ran that, I don't know, that took a couple months through. I think we started that sometime at the end of 2017. And finished it probably, I don't know, I'm saying March maybe, February or March of 2018.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, around that time. But that's where we started off the year, and I got it in my mind. It's time to try and start, like, what can we do to kick into streaming? Because my other machine, there was no way it had the capabilities. So I had to get the new PC first. So I had to do that, and had some minds of doing some other adventures. And if you look to the right here, our first Siege event was right before we started streaming, and that was a 3-part adventure. I got the notes on that here. That was pretty cool. Do you remember the name of that one, dude?
That was the Bulwark, right?
Yeah, no, that was, all right, so that was cleansing of Forest Green Bastion, then the invasion of, yeah. So what happened here was, this, well, Naz, you're absolutely correct on Comcast, but ever since I got the new XFI super router and we did Zoom on Thursday, I mean, we had no problems Thursday night. We're thinking Skype is the main culprit in a lot of the chunking of the program, a lot of the CPUs and the bandwidth and stuff. So, this Thursday, again, Mark will be Mark and I will be using Zoom. Bill's just so old school, he's a dinosaur, so we didn't want to mess around with our Skype feed. So, plus he's doing it on the iPad.
I'm pointing around the garage on my iPad.
So we decided to go stick to the old school because we knew it worked, and I'm upstairs, directly connected right into the router. So, so this was Discovery at Forest Green Bastion was my first castle invasion that we planned on doing. Let me boom. This one was pre the big Bulwark one. So what we did here was and this is once again right before we started streaming. There. It's a lot smaller than the other one. 2 narwhal headhunters went missing, and we did 2 different adventuring groups in this. And that was what was pretty neat about this one. We started with a different adventuring group. We started in 817 and with the Order of Ulek Slaver group. And then we finished with the Windborn, the last 2 adventures. And look, there's Alan, all happy, and Bill prepping their stuff up for that adventure. There's, remember the frog outside the frog Emeth you had to clear out. So that adventure was cool. And then when they got inside, no, it wasn't. Naz, we never streamed any of this. None of this. Good question. We never even got there on this. So the first group went in and found that in the end there was all this like crazy. They were gonna execute the 2 narwhal headhunters. Here's a picture of them going into the adventure. Oh, by the way, the previous one, that's Mark FaceTiming in. We're still using frickin' FaceTime here in 2018 with Mark on that iPad. Yeah, that's how antiquated we were getting Mark in here at the beginning of the year. We were using FaceTime. So they went out and they cleared out some stuff. Here inside, if you can see inside, there's like a whipping post, there's a hangman's thing. They're going to hang the 2 narwhal headhunters. And the Lord of the Keep's acting crazy, and they couldn't figure it out. And it turns out he was a doppelganger, and he had this whole group of lackeys from another adventuring party, and they had overtaken the keep, and no one knew about it. Hence, as you can see in this picture, a big fight ensued. And that was kind of cool, and this gave me the idea for getting out and starting to... I know NBA had the huge stuff, and I'm like, I got to get this stuff. And so we started doing this. And then we went to, once this got changed, the whole inside, the next adventure, the lady, was it the niece? I always forget. The daughter, Mara Flores came. She was a paladin, like 7th level. She came and took the place over. And then they cleaned out the bad guys around in the area. And then, if anyone knows about the gnarly forest, you have the whole Blackthorn up there, the caverns. My brain's off now, and if you remember which cavern it is up there. But you have those, and a whole bunch of gnolls and different creatures came out and invaded the keep. It was a really cool... I think it is. But, sorry, my voice is on and off tonight. But we never got to that one. Along with the one I'm showing right now, this one is Menace at the Swiftbrook Mill. That's 820. I did a prelude for it on my other machine, this one I'm showing, but I didn't have the capability of getting this shit down into the basement yet. So I just did a prelude on this one. We hadn't started streaming yet at all on this. So I think the prelude's still up for that because it was on the premiere. Still wasn't doing live streaming. We're doing premieres at this point. That one up now is the first one we did, and that was number 821. And we're talking at around May 18th, and we didn't live stream it. We premiered it. We did a premiere. It's called A Deal with Knuckle Paler. So that's when we really started getting into doing the games finally. But we still weren't live streaming. I was recording, spending all night uploading them because it was like hours. We're talking about a 6-hour upload. It was insane. And I would have to wake up in the morning, and sometimes it wouldn't upload. It was a nightmare. And then playing a premiere the next day. So I was like, here's got to stop this shit. I'm never going to get any sleep. So we did that for a bit. And those adventures were cool because, Bill, what do you remember about her? Knuckle Paler. What do you specifically remember about her?
Well, we captured her. She was sent away, and now she's back, and she's on the loose again.
It turns out that she was Shannon Maynham, she was a high level, her mother's a high level, Throne of Wood member, got her out of jail. She said she'd be nice. She's a pirate at heart. She was the head of a pirate group. She actually gets the adventuring group. We used 2 in this one as well. We did the first group we did was the Hiltless Swords, and then we did Reckless Indifference. So on a tale, they go out to find something for her, and then the next one, a deal, she actually goes with them. And of course, she double crossed them, but they do find a lot of cool items on that. Naz, did you watch? I think you just had jumped in on those. I mean, I think you were just starting to watch us at that point. So that was the cool time. I mean, I was messing around. I had no idea what I was doing still. With streaming and all, with doing this, I didn't know how to figure out how to set up things. The broadcast looked kind of ugly. You know, it was a lot of. We had no idea how to connect Mark in correctly. There was all sorts of problems, but it was fun, and I had no entry screens. I had no beginning. You know, all sorts of fun things. So I'm looking here on. Some other cool things that happened in May, going back at the beginning. I did my first gab in number 1 on a Sunday with Mark. Mark was my guest. So we just talked about DMing that first one and just bullshit about the whole time. And then my second one, number 2, on the 27th, was with Brian. And so I had 2 fellow DM friends that I had on those 2. And it was great. We had a blast. We had a fun time doing that, and that was a lot of cool. You know, it was just trying to get my feet wet in it. Plus, we had we had barely any viewers. I think we had, and I learned. Okay, so I think Naz, you jumped in on upcoming. I think you jumped in, and I'm going to show them because this is a good. Hey Jeff, glad you hopped on, man. All right, so you didn't miss anything. We're just we're going to be bouncing around. I want to make this really informal. I want to celebrate 2018. We all had a great year. Gaming D&D has just been reinvigorated for all of us. So I think you jumped in. Confrontation in the Cairn Hills, I think you jumped in. Because I'll talk about. You may know it. You jumped in. David Granavis's wedding took a long time, even though it was 823. We were still running that when we were up to 825, 826. So I'll talk about that in a second. But so Mark came here from Ohio in June, and Bill was off on a Friday, and Brian was at home. Or he was at work, and he said, "You guys are there. Why don't you just try live streaming this?" Because so I had a Dyson adventure called a Devour Most Foul, and I modified it. We were going to do a little small adventure for the Reborn. And I said, okay. It was a Friday afternoon, I think, and I just jumped on and I started broadcasting it live. And I went, da-da! And Brian's like, I can see it. And it's our first actual live stream game we did. And I don't really have any stills of it because we were just shooting from the hip on that one. And any stills I have are really shitty pictures on that didn't come out on my phone. But that's the first one we did true stream. It was number 824, and that was just a little mini adventure we did. And I kept on rebuilding it was so quick. I kept on rebuilding the terrain in the underground on it. And we ran that for 3 players, and that was it. And that was our first true live stream. And then David Granavis's wedding, 823, we started before that, but we didn't finish it until well after, because Mark, we did some when Mark was here, and then Mark went home, and then we wanted to finish it a couple weeks later, and then there was one delay, and so that one is probably the one you jumped in on, Naz. So. Yeah, the Dwarforge dungeons that were serving as the courts, that I believe is the end of with the the quote from the beginning. Bill, did you like that quote, or did you not read it?
Yes.
Yeah, Randall. Yeah. So we had a Randall White, our favorite, one of our favorite NPCs. Quote at the beginning, but with that adventure. They figured out that they had to, David Granavis and all the Knights of Ulek had to go up to their spot in the Shieldlands and destroy this ever reappearing zombie army. I think that's the one you jumped in on, Naz, and that was a brutal adventure. But
well, that was the same weekend. Was you still here for that?
Yeah, but we didn't finish it, remember? He went back, and then we finished it like 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah, one for art, then we did a kids adventure. I did that.
Yes, and we did a Devour Most Foul. That was our first true stream at that time. So that was everything was going on there, and that was right in the beginning of June. I really say that's when we really started streaming. It was June 8th. So we finished that up, and I think that's the one you saw was the end of the events for before David Gradivus' wedding. I don't know. Let me see here. I'm gonna scan through these pics. Let me see. I got them in order. So here we go. Doom doom boom. Boom boom. Oh, there was Whistler in that. That's the beginning of it. There's the zombie army, and there's the fight going on in the town. With the Fultus people. There's the church where the Fultus people were holed up, with Randall White's body left. What was left of him was in that church. There's this Light's Pillar reclaimed. It was Walrus Crossing. Anna, we're going to get this. Put this on your map soon when we do our next one for the Shieldlands. And here's the fight with Panja Sek, Boneheart member, and all his demons during this. Hey, thanks, Anti-Snip, for the follow. Thank you so very much, man. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys like what you see here. Like I said, this is just the beginning for us. And there's what I think you're talking about, that picture there, Naz. Not enough to leave yet. Woo, maybe. I'll get through this, I promise. Yes, and I think that was it. Yes, that was it, Naz. So Jeff and Sprocket, I think, go back a little bit longer than you. It's you three are the longest followers. Thank you so very much. I'm going to have a fit. I'm going to attack. Give me 1 second, people. 1 sec. Back. Yay! Yeah, so that was probably the beginning. Ooh, thank you for all being so patient with me with that. So, that's when the stream caught on, because it was a all right, so tonight we're in the Violet-Eyed Lady, by the way. I know we're bouncing all over the place. We're not in Lord Peakshaven in Tringley. We're in Bill's character. Go, Bill. Who's Bar? Lord. Yes, Lord Cruck Halfingbane. He's a big half ogre, and he has this bar dedicated to Walt's character, Britomart Aradhell, from the House of Tellerin, and it's called the Violet-Eyed Lady, and it's like the most expensive, classiest. Well, not the most expensive, the classiest bar. So I needed some elven droning music for this event, if you understand. So that's where that came from. The music.
He's also a master brewer.
He's a master brewer as well. Yep, absolutely.
What is his drink?
Oh God, it's something with peat, isn't it?
No. That's what he fights with as well.
He fights with a club.
Club, yes. It's called
Club, that's it. You got hit by a club. So what's really great, and I'll just bounce right into this. You see Anna's maps are up. These are all done for us now. There's another blow up, and you'll see that Thursday night. So the Violet-Eyed Lady, by the end of 2019, and we'll talk about this a little at the end, will be on a map of Altamira. And that's one of the big things we are so excited about for 2019. We will actually have a map where all the locations are, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Kren's cousin. Maybe, Tom, we're going to find out a lot more about Kren when he adventures on Thursday. So, please, like I said, please chat, please talk. We get to that, the total of 10 people chatting at the same time. I get some more VIP badges to hand people out. So June, we really started cranking out some stuff. But I'm going to be honest with you in June. I was looking for a traction of some sort, and I guarantee you, Naz, you recognize this. I was bouncing around. We do this a lot in our game. I'm bouncing around a lot between adventures, between types. So I did a Mongols of the Putrid Tongue adventure, which is an oldie but a goodie. I did a really messed up adventure, and we're going right to that. Here we go. So we did. This is the Mongols one, where they went in and they found out that the Mongols, someone was trying to bring the Mongols back. The Mongols of the Putrid Tongue were an old nemesis of in the campaign, going a way back. Here's their shield. I'm clicking it down low. What? Oh, I just went by it. What's that?
We thought they were gone.
They thought they were gone, but this was a good time because, there you go. I hadn't had. Yes, I had. That's what I'm getting to. I hadn't had any. I wanted to give all these experiences that we've had over 38 years, now 39, to everyone out there, and we hadn't done that. And I was like, we have to do that somehow. So we did some other adventures in between, and I put up on the lower left, guys. Any adventure that I did was published that I had a picture for. I put it up to give them kudos to the people who I always give them credit when the adventure starts, but I wanted to put those up. So we did Confrontation in the Cairn Hills. Then we did a cool one that I liked, but it really didn't get much traction at all. It was called Seeking Soul Ash, and I kind of tied in your favorite person, Bill, out of the Harvey. Who would I tie in on that? Yes, exactly. So they had to find this assassin, and it turns out the assassin was wanted by a bounty hunter assassin from Greyhawk. They found her body. They found that they had fought before they even got there. There was all sorts of stuff going on. And that's what the adventure you're seeing now up is, and that was called Seeking Soul Ash. I thought it was really good, but it got some traction, but I don't know. I guess maybe it was still in our infancy of we're still running an average of 8 at this point, 6 to 8 on broadcast. But then this next adventure popped us up a bit, and as it was kind of silly. Hey, Mike, how are you, man? Yeah, Mike, we're going to be bouncing around a lot. Thanks a lot for hopping on, man. Appreciate it. So I poured in Murlocs over from WoW. I did an adventure called Murlocs, more Murlocs, and even more Murlocs. And here's the town, the tranquil town of Crystal Lakes got invaded by Murlocs in the county of Ulek. Hey, we can put Crystal Lakes on the map too. I never even thought about that, Bill. We have a lot of locations, Anna, in the county of Ulek. We have a lot of locations in the county of Ulek that can go on there. So it's a blast. Just knowing that you can now, we got a living, breathing world. We've had that for so long, but now we got a living, breathing map, and that just makes it even that much better. And hey, Mike, and thanks a lot. Like I said, please, guys, feel free, chat away. I want to get to the extra one where I can start giving out more VIP badges. So we got Mike. We got some more Anna announcements coming up. So got some cool things coming up announce-wise at the end of 2019. So June, July, August, we're just running adventures. I'm running adventures every week. I'm running some Gabbins, and the Gabbins were okay. We bounced around a lot on that. I wanted to get some background, but hadn't really caught the traction yet. Then a cool thing happened. Hey, Rocks. Hey, there you are. Happy New Year, dude. Thanks a lot for understanding about Sunday, man. Phew, I was dead man walking. You need a title for my version of the map? That's Order of Ulek campaign. Right, Bill? That sound good? do you think, Bill, for Anna's map, or should be Order of Ulek campaign?
Yeah, as much as I hate the name.
Order of Ulek campaign. That's it. You know, that way it's not associated with the Twitch channel, but that's, yeah. So.
Yeah, because it's what it is.
It's what it is. It's what it's going to always be. So I'll say this. I messed around. I didn't upload anything finally. I messed around with Greyhawk Wiki thanks to Icarus. LordGosumba will have his Greyhawk Wiki page up soon. I'm working on it. So we're going to start adding in some characters on the Greyhawk Wiki now that I have that page up, which is another great thing that happened in 2018. All sorts of wonderful stuff. Everyone linked in. Beautiful. All right, so September 10th, and it was a test run, but it went great. Jeff, who's on, Jeff's house, Jacob Jansen, DM Mark, one of my players from the 80s. Mark DMs his own group on Monday nights. They start streaming. Thanks, Walt, for I do sound like shit. I already had to leave once out the door, so. They start streaming September 10th. There was only a test. It went fantastic. Jeff got sick, so we delayed the official slap first one on October 1st. So then we came on with a second broadcast. That really helped a lot. Started pumping up everything. Had a different group with a different perspective, with a cool, absolutely freaking cool table. All the great stuff Jeff does there. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful ad. Brand new players for the most part. Raw players. And Mark's got his own style, which is great. I mean, the last thing you want to see is another one of me, right? Bill's probably going to chuckle at that. Mark's got a fantastic style of DMing. So they came on. Officially, it was October 1st. Came on with a second, and they run every other week. Now, with the holidays, they'll be back on January 14th. So not next Monday, but the Monday after. And we'll start seeing the slap continue Siege of Origins watch. So I'll be playing on that when I can as well. So that came on at that date. Before that, though, was the big thing that started us off. Thank you. I'm going to say it right now. To everyone who's on tonight. I know it's a holiday still. But thank you so very much, guys. I know Bill and I really appreciate it. Mark wanted to be on tonight. But he's got a big thing for Ohio State, so he's not. It's okay. Tom's on chat. Walt's on chat. So I got most of our team here. So thanks a lot, everyone. September 19th was the beginning, and I didn't put a lot of picks up because I've beaten this to death. We'll scan back through here. I got some really fun ones up front. NBA. I forget when they became a sponsor of mine. Oh, I was on vacation. It was in August. So I'll give you a quick story. If you ever want to know how to get something, you just ask. So this is a good story. I'm on vacation down with my friend Steve. You see Steve jump on and bust my balls sometimes. Rocinante 19. That's him. So he is. We're down the beach, and Mark has just met Anna at Gen Con, which was like a momentous thing for us. Okay. And I talked to Anna about some stuff. And then he went over to Kirk at Miniature Building Authority. Here we go. And this is up now in the winter scene, guys. This is from Thursday. This is the day scene. This is before I have underlays. So I will never hear again, why does everything look like a swamp, okay? Hey, it's lich and green from the 90s, got it? So now we use the overlays on top, we use the maps, so you won't see the lich and green shit anymore. Thank you. So, Mark says, Kirk wants to talk to you. I know you left him a message. So I said, well, I have his phone number. So I called Kirk up. I said, Kirk, look, I use your stuff. You know me. I've ordered thousands of dollars of things over the years. I love your stuff. We broadcast this is what we're about. Why don't you take a look at the channel? He goes on the channel. He goes, oh my God, you use my stuff this much. I said, yeah. I said, would you consider sponsoring the page, our channel? He goes, oh, hell yeah. What do you want? And I said, Absolutely, absolutely, Jeff. So I'm done this talk, I'll pop you right there too, and we will do one more thing for you too. So I said just whatever you can, and we won't go into the details on that. But needless to say, Naz and Brian and who else? Someone else won one. Jeff earlier all won gift certificates to Miniature Building Authority. They give us great deals, and it's a great relationship. And all I do is ask. And so if you have, that's what I'm saying. A little bit of advice, feel free to ask. You get pretty far with stuff. So I love those guys, and my mouth's going dry. Hanging in there. Hey, Sprocket. All the hardcores are on. That's fantastic. September 19th. Attack at Winchester's Bulwark starts. The first invasion was nothing compared to this. We had siege towers, high level characters running around, a trebuchet throwing trolls over walls, all sorts of stuff. The rounds were taking hours at a time. So that was our first doing of this, and then we had a lot of high-level characters. Bill, who'd you have on that?
For that one, I had Nick's characters. I had Sashar, Sword, my Archer Mage, and I had Sunhill.
Yes. So you didn't have to bring Nancy Ulek on this. So it was a general call to arms, and Mark had, and if anyone watched Thursday night, Mark had Arden the Vanquisher, one of the Prince's guys, who's in the group up. Oh God, my brain just shut off.
The Legion.
The Legion. My God, thank you. Yeah, so Arden the Vanquisher showed up, and he fought in it. So Mark had a dwarf in it, and we had all sorts of mix of characters. And then September 26th was the second week of it, and the fight kept on going on and on. All of Andrea's people were killed. She got shot out of the sky, if everyone remembers. Then she got force caged to get her out of the fight, and so then all the Ravager high-level people showed up, and I made a couple tactical errors, and October 4th, mark that down as the day that will live in infamy. And why is that? Bill, the third week of it.
The third week of it.
The third and final week.
First week of it.
What happened the third and final week of Attack at Winchester's Bulwark? Anyone from the audience?
I don't remember.
Tom, what happened the third and final week?
Oh, Tom was there.
Tom came back. So, yes. All right, so guys, Tom played in 87, did Temple of Elemental Evil, had all these characters, played on and off very sporadically up till 2001. Maybe played once or twice in 2004. Then now Tom came back in 2018. Played Tom the Vindicator in that adventure. Really helped tie in everything. We had a blast. It was great, and he hasn't left since. And it's so exciting to have Tom back. I have one of my core original players back in the fold, which is so exciting for everyone. So that's the big thing that happened at that. That was, Tom came back to that adventure, brought in the Vindicator, and then we finished that up.
Soul to soul.
And that was great. I mean, that was some great tactics. Absolutely, Tom. Thanks. Your return, your glorious return, made everything work. I mean, it was just a fantastic event. Finished that up. That's when we started really getting some traction. Was that after we ran that? And I thought we would. We did a giveaway at that time. Jeff won the first one, and then and Naz won the $25 one. Hopefully, Tom. I mean, it was great. As you can see, we're doing stuff based on your characters now. So that was in October, and we really got our traction at that point. Our numbers went up. We finally went over 10 on an average. And let me tell you something. It's not easy. You need to be a 3 for an affiliate, and that's not too bad to do. But getting from that 3 to that 10, man, that takes some work. And it took some, it took a lot of just figuring things out. And I've had fun doing it, though. That's a great thing. So all right, so Bill, first 6 months of the year, anything momentous or anything that sticks out in your mind, or anyone who's watching, the first 6 months up to this October, anything that sticks out in anyone's mind they want to discuss? I have a couple things I remember.
Well, I mean, the big thing for us is we definitely increased our terrain usage.
A true point that I'll say, a combination of you crafting, number one, above and beyond everything, the relationship increasing with Miniature Building Authority, 2, the capability of us streaming, 3, and knowing that no one out there is really promoting tabletop miniatures game style as much as we are. Now, I've tried to partner with Ukador, is a good one. Forsetti uses miniatures, and a couple other sites that I've tried to partner with use some miniatures here and there, but we are the tops in the tabletop miniature gaming. And so it all just made sense. And you're having a blast making stuff and painting and doing all that. I'm having a blast telling you asking you what to do. That's a great point that sticks out early on. I want to show you another thing. See the thing up right now? That was our crappy logo right there for 20 years. And then Mark on the previous screen created a new logo for us. Finally got some new graphics. Mark met Anna. That just popped up, and I got this going on. So this happened early on, and we started making a relationship with Anna. That doesn't happen until November, though.
Well, the other big thing that's happened with us streaming is Mark actually stays awake.
Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to say this from me. So anyone else, Tom, Walt, if you have something you remember for the first 6 months, but I'm going to say this. I enjoyed the experimentation of seeing what worked and what didn't work with everything, with our game, with online, with throwing some high levels in. So, we did a whole bunch of different content. And I think that was really cool early on, was just mixing it up and trying some different things. But, Anna, that's the cool thing. And let's jump ahead. So, everything came together in November. And it really started with a non-D&D broadcast. Tom wasn't going to be there one week, and we had a hankering to get back into BattleTech. So we did a BattleTech adventure. It was called Lost Tech Hunting on Solaris 7, and then the week after that we finished it up, and then we went into a D&D adventure. It's still the most viewed vid we have. It's like over 150 views, which is crazy. And we got a whole bunch of new watchers content, some crossover watchers on that. And that was November 20th. Before that, we ran a thing on the Shieldlands. And I know Anna was interested in the Shieldlands, and that's when Anna and I hooked up and started talking about all the stuff we were doing. And we talked for like hours that one night. And so Anna agreed to come on the show the 25th. And that put us in another stratosphere because, Anna's the most respected, let's be honest, Anna's the most respected person we have that has any relationship with this channel. We put Anna first, and then next tier, Greyhawk Mike, and all the people with all the websites going back, all the contents of the years, and then me and all the rest of us after that. So, but yeah, Anna was our special guest on Gabin 23 on November 25th. And that jumped us up into a record. It was a record broadcast by far on that day. Yes. Come on, we got to give kudos to Anna, right? We need to. So, and that was a whole blast. And then the light bulb went off immediately. Right before that, I Patreoned. I have one Patreon thing I do, and that's Anna. And we do, and then from there we rolled. Yeah, it was a great show, and we're going to do some other stuff. Absolutely. And so in the meantime, PAX is coming up. So I have that. I'm running a BattleTech thing. I got to finish this BattleTech adventure. If I don't get the BattleTech adventure off the table, I can't run D&D. I'm doing that, then I run an adventure at the same time. The next day's PAX, and I'm DMing at PAX. Walt's coming with me to that, and that was such a run around. I'm assuming Gen Con's going to be the same way, all the running around. So that we did all that, and I know I did a Gabbard on PAX, and I thought no one's going to watch this. No one cared. I didn't know if anyone cared. And then Brian Bumclot said to me, "That was one of your best ones ever because you were so excited doing it." And I watched it. I'm sorry, I watched it after the fact, but he said it was great to see your experience with people you never played with. And I was like, I'll be freaking honest. I think Wall will tell you this too, Colby on here. I was scared to freaking death because I didn't know how people were going to react to our play style. Man, I'm just scanning through things, not paying attention here. Oh, that's a little. So there's Anna's maps. Okay, here we go. There. I was scared, but I had Walt there to help me out, and that went great. And I did the show after that. And then the next day, Saturday, I did something by myself. Walt couldn't make it. I was scared about that too, without him helping me, and both things were fantastic. And there was no one doing tabletop miniature style PAX. It was, I'm not saying that's the way, but it was cool because I stood out from the crowd on that, and even doing old school 1E2, it was a blast. And now I have no fear of dealing for people I don't know. And yes, it was such a wonderful experience. People were great. They were amenable to 1E2. There were some 5 years. They didn't care. They just wanted to play and have a good time. And so there was so much going on in November. It was packed. And all of a sudden, we jumped up from 10 to an average of like 15 because we were hitting these 18, 20 shows. And it was going great. And jumping back. Okay, here's our Wall of Fame up right now. Let's jump back. I love doing this. We had 18 on our wall. Published modules. We did this way back. If we'd done it now, we'd probably get double the viewership on it, which is cool. So we did a whole episode on Gabbard on which ones we're going to pick. We picked G1, Q1, Saltmarsh, Ghost Tower of Inverness, Dark Tower, and Fortress Elendar. There were the 6, and so there were 24 up on my wall. It's right in as you come into my basement downstairs before you go into the gaming area. That's one of the first things you see. That was a great one. We loved doing that. Wall of Fame. Mark wants me to figure out a way to put up Dragon magazines, modules like our favorite Citadel by the Sea, one of Tom's favorites. And I'm trying to figure out a way to do that and maybe add it somewhere down there, and we may do that in the future. Thanks, Rox. Yeah, and that was a classic one. If I can figure a way to re-upload that, it's really, I may do that and re-upload it and rebroadcast it or premiere it at some point. Even if it's a rerun, I may do that one. But stuff only stays 60 days on Twitch, so I'll try and figure out if I can do that. But that was cool. The pictures you just saw. Everyone asked me where did I get the heads for subscribers. There's one of the heads you can see in that picture right there. That's our other friend Bill. My 40th birthday party. I couldn't resist. So, and that's his wife Mandy right there too. So, and he's no longer playing with the group, but I can't resist. So that's where in the previous ones was Tim and me with the looks, and that's where the pictures came for our heads from our emotes, customized emotes. So back to the end of November, got through PAX, which was great. All the meantime, we are planning this mega startup behind the scenes. Bill has got, finally by now, do you have all the figures, or most of them? Not painted, but you have the...
Yeah.
We just got the figures. Bill just got the figures. He has to paint 18 figures, brand new, because that's just the way we do things. And every player has 3. NPC, that way we can move them in and out, and everyone on Thursday night saw how cool it is because I can split the groups up, I can do all sorts of things. So Bill has to paint 18 figures. And he doesn't have them all because not everyone's picked their characters yet. You need to pick your character, what you're going to play, then find a figure that we haven't used from Reaper or one of the other companies, get it and send it to Bill. Get it to Bill. So that hasn't happened. I'm looking, and plus I want to do this in a winter scene, so I'm putting pressure on him to get winter shit up. And he got the winter stuff up with the Battletech, and we got the winter scene up for a couple of broadcasts we did. He's still doing more and more winter terrain because I want to do the keep and winter scene because I'm that overkill with things. So while everything else is going on in November, all this is going on in the background. Plus, I don't have anyone's character sheets, right, Tom? Still, I don't have the character sheets. So I really can't prep up stuff. Now I play tested my. I play tested Millicent. I had Fritz, and I had Kendra all play tested by people at PAX for me, and that went great. And I got a good idea on what direction I wanted these characters to go. And the woman who played Fritz, and she's a follower now on here and on my Twitter feed, which I hate using. I have like 13 followers, but she's one of them. Played Fritz, and Walt will say this too. She played her fantastically, and it was a great idea that I got on how to play them, and it went well. It just gives me another idea why I want to meet up with other new people, give them some character ideas, and let them run with them and see what they do with them. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. So that all happened, and we're still like, we're like, we're gonna make it for 20. Now it's just like, when are you gonna start the new first? When are you gonna start the new first? Right? Timmy's like, when are you gonna start them? And I'm like, Tim, I'm getting there. I'm trying. We're trying. I don't know if we're gonna make the new year. And things we did. So December 16th, we did our highest rated show of any kind ever, delving into the Specialty Priest. Had like an average of 27. It was great, close to the night. It was we had a blast. And Mark's like, these delving shows are fantastic. Keep them up. You got to keep these going. So, as a matter of fact, we had one more after that. So we did that, and then the 18th of December, I was a guest host on Anna's show. Anna did a great on her Twitch feed, and we put our and this was the coup de grace, right? This is the killing blow for us. We got all of our locations in Principality Ulek, Pomarsh area, up through Altamira, County Ulek, right there, that little slither of it, all the way up through Saline. All our maps are done now. And let me start them rolling. Give me a bit back to the beginning here. And there's Altamira. I put that on the screen, but the cough screen, you can call it tonight if you want. But Altamira didn't exist, and it fits perfectly. It's very fortunate, but it fits perfectly as a walled city. And the history on this goes back to 1987. In fact, the history goes back to, I gotta tell this story, Tom, myself, Walt, and who am I missing? Tim, going and taking a road trip to Fairfax, Virginia in the summer in 1987 with Mark is down at his sister's, staying there for the summer. We went there. Tom was the only one who could buy beer because he's the only one that was really of age. So we stop at this supermarket. It was like, you can buy beer in a supermarket here? You couldn't in New Jersey. So we got the Foster, you can imagine. Foster's, Kieran, all this stuff. And we finished up Temple of Mental Evil. Then Tim ran a super high-level adventure for Hawk and Gazumba and a whole bunch of other characters. And then we ran an adventure called Cavalier School, where the Knights of Ulek, actually, there was nothing there, founded that site. And Tom was there for that one, and Makaras showed up, and did one of the most momentous critical hits of all time, cutting off someone's right arm and left leg with one swing. And that was one of the, that was one of the momentous things, and that happened way back in 1987. That's how long Altamira goes back. So, you know, it predates a lot of other content. And thank you, Anna. It was, yes, what a great road trip that was, Tom. Yeah, absolutely. We won't go into the seedier aspects of it, but it was great. It was a great time. So having Altamira on the map, having all the stuff on the map for my broadcast for this new first level group, tied it all in. So I'm like, can I get it in? Can I get it into 2018? Question is, can we get this done in 2018? And normally, not everyone's available between Christmas and New Year's. Someone's got a holiday party or a family event, something going on 2018. You know, at that holiday season. And then I said, well, can you all make it on 27th? Can you do it 27th? Everyone said yes. I wasn't about to start this with not everyone being there. And I was like with my voice, I can't, yippee-ki-yay, right? I was ecstatic. And then so I was able to get it out that we were going to start the new group of firsts, which they don't have a name yet because there's really no group yet. So it's just called New Group because, you know, eventually, hopefully they'll get a name tied to them or something. I got a couple of them was up on here. But we got to start that last Thursday. And there's Winchester's bulwark. Yeah, the walls are damaged. There's only 8. She got 8 troops functioning and her Castellan. And that's where we started on Thursday night. And you can see the terrain up front. I had to move that out once the pictures were taken because, you know, there's Andrea on top of her keep. But that's where we started, and we really got into some really good RP. We got into a lot of people learned a lot of background about the characters. We tried to get in, and that's what I wanted. The number one thing I wanted to show, Bill, is what about us as players, about our group.
No, I think everyone really puts thought and design into their characters' backgrounds.
Absolutely. You know, there's the figure.
We have kids of players now that are playing. So, I mean, their background's a little easier, but a lot of us would spend extra time to develop where these characters come from, the reasons for adventuring, or the reasons they don't want to go adventuring.
Exactly. And I wanted everyone to see, and it was great, that we're not just about putting miniatures on a table. There's RP involved in what we do. It's a mix. It's a 1E, 2E, and let me say something. There's no right or wrong way to, I say this every time, there's no right or wrong way to play Dungeons & Dragons. You play 4E, 5, I don't care. As long as you play, that's the best thing. I'm a big Greyhawk guy, right? But as long as you play, it doesn't matter what style, what edition you play it in. But hey, you know, I wanted people to see there's a lot of RP that goes on with our characters, a lot of thought. There's a lot of months of development of these characters getting, you know, the ideas behind. So Tom's character, Thomas the Younger, who you saw Thursday night, was thought of in 1987 and just started playing. And of course, I don't have that. We have a card with all the offspring from all the players. I should have had that out. And every one of those characters on there has played from that generation, except for this character, Thomas the Younger, half-elf. So I finally get to tick off the last character on that. He's been in concept for 30. Yes, he's been in concept for 31 years. Tom is talking right now, Looney 66, and so. But what a great on chat. But what a great start on Thursday night. Everything tied in. Anna's maps, your crafts, the pre-concepts, the paint jobs, it all tied in. It was by far our highest rated streamed game ever, and it's just been going great since then. And I wanted to end up the year on Sunday with another delving. We did delving into the Elementalist the week before. Went very well, right over the holidays. Showed us, talked about how we have 6 Elementalist classes. Beyond Fire, Earth, Air, and Water, we have Quasi and Para. It's a 2-week class. I love it. Got into some nuts and bolts on it. And I wanted to finish up the year with delving into the damage dealers, dealing with the Archer and the Cavalier, the Saxon, and the Duelist. But you can tell I got gravely ill. We had to push that back a week. So we ended up on a great note on that Thursday night. That's what we'll say for 2018. So, any thoughts on finishing up 2018, Bill? What do you think?
No, I mean, I definitely think this year has brought back some passion.
Yes.
Definitely more so for you, I think. I think it helped reinvigorate your planning. I think a lot of the players, Walt especially, I think, and Mark, it really reinvigorated them. I mean, it's tough for Mark to play. Playing it from Ohio is very difficult. So I give him a ton of credit for doing it. I've done it once or twice, and it's tough. But,
absolutely.
It really has reinvigorated people. It brought some new life back into the campaign. And I think overall it was an exciting year.
It was. It's been a blast so far. And I don't know if Tom, you can answer this. I don't know if because we were streaming brought Tom back or if it was a combination of things, but I don't care. But we got another of our old school players back. So I mean, you're right. It reinvigorated a lot, and there's Skag. Hey, Skag. I don't want to do this at the very beginning, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to say through 2018, I want to do this now, just so we don't do it at the very end. I put together a list, and what I have taken out of this 2018, besides the DMing and besides the game and all my friends that I've known for years, all the new friends I got in 2018. Because of all the things we're doing, and I wanted to go over the list. So, if I miss you, I sincerely apologize, but I think I got almost everyone on here. Okay, so everything happens for a reason, Tom. You're absolutely right. So here we go. If I miss someone, Bill, please call me out on it. Okay, I'm going to go through the list. It's in no order. Okay, no specific order. Anna Meyer. Jeff Jacob Jansen, DM Shane, DM Will from Return of the Bandit Kingdoms, Skagith, the Swede. I mean, come on, it doesn't get better than that, right? Andy Campbell. Now, Andy Campbell. No, who's Andy Campbell? Andy Campbell is the head of the Philly Old School Gamers Society group. And I didn't know it for 20-some years. I worked with him at Electronics Boutique in the early 90s, and I met him at PAX Unplugged. I was like, holy shit, we worked together. He's like, you're that Jay Scott? And I was like, oh my God. So, Andy Campbell. Michael Gross, another guy from the Old School Gamers, and David Burke, who played in my game, PAX Unplugged, and another Old School Gamer member. Okay? Sprocketeer. Love you, Sprocket. I'll even say I love the Grumpy Low 505. Okay. Tim the Nazrat. My God. What can I say, man? One of our best subscribers and just friend of mine now. Tim is a little disturbing. He has a D&D campaign now, and he's using us, me, Bill, Walt, Mark, in his world that he's developing in his campaign, and that's a little off disturbing. Someday, if he wants to go over it with you guys in chat, or I have him on, we'll have. But the stuff is pretty entertaining, so I'll just say that. All right. Celestian, another great subscriber we have too as well. Celestian gave me one of the best compliments ever. Said you guys are 10 out of 10. I was like, hey, great, man, love that. Brian Blumklotz. Brian helped me out early on, getting me set up with all the streaming, and runs a Cannon Fire site, and has been instrumental in a lot of things. Greyhawk Mike, you've been fantastic. Another person, developed a great relationship with. I can't wait to get on your show. Just got to get the coordination. I'd love to come on and talk turkey with you on there too. Have you on ours as well. So, some other channels. Ian and friends from Forsetti D&D. I mean, he's like us, Tom, in like the 90s, where they were on a table, they play on a table, and they have some terrain, and they have they have figures. Hey, Scooter Jester, that's gotta be Garnett. It has to be. It has to be Garnett. Has to be. So, hey, Rox, I'm glad I linked you up with that too. Scooter, are you Garnett? You better follow me too if you haven't already, but I think you have. So, I think it is. I think you just did too. So, Forsetti's they're great. I love doing joint hosting with them and stuff like I do with a lot of channels. But they remind me of us when I was young, thin, right? So, I know you got your troubles. So, Garnett's one of our old players, Scooter Jester. He's got troubles because he lives out in the middle of somewhere in the East Virginia, and he only has satellite, and he has trouble with his satellite feed. So, if you're on there now, that's great. If you can watch this, that's great, man. I appreciate it. If you can listen in or whatever, hey, dude, Walt's on, Tom Lanuti's on, Bill's on. Unfortunately, Mark's not on tonight, Garnett, but I'm glad you hopped in for this year in review. That's so awesome. Yeah. So, one of great Shane's DMs, Danny Neary, another one. Okay. John at TPK Games, another one I do joint hosting with. Love their artwork on their site. John's a good guy. So, Chris also at Eucador. Chris is cool. He's got the thing going as far as broadcasting goes, and he has a side down thing where he does his miniature combats. Really cool. It's another one I have on there. So Icarus on our group discussions on Cannon Fire and on the Greyhawk group. Getting me into Greyhawk Online, helping me out with things, and he lives 30 minutes from me in South Jersey. Who would have thought? And I've never met him in person. It's crazy. And Kirk Stevens from Metro Building Authority. I got one more after that. Did I miss any? Don't say the one that I'm going to say. But I think I got everyone. If I missed anyone on, there's a lot of people. Like I said, thanks a lot. People I consider my friends now, and that means the whole world to me. Just meeting new people. Reaching out, and that's the one thing I'm taking out of 2018 is that experience of meeting people. Last but not least, how can I not end the night, and I'm going to type it in, without saying I consider this gentleman a friend of mine now. Leonard Lakofka. So I got it in. I'm going to share something on the next Gabbin next Sunday. Yes, they are. Leonard shared something with me, and I shared it with Bill, and that's as far as it's gone. I don't know if Bill's looked at it. We won't go into more details. We'll keep that as a little tidbit for Sunday evening on our Gabbin. Unbelievable stuff from a gentleman 72 years old. I feel honored that he sent it to me and shared it with me. So we'll keep that for Sunday night. So, I'm glad to see, Garnett, that you're doing that. That's so fantastic. Sit down, relax, enjoy the discussion here. That's awesome, man. There we go. All righty. Jeff with a nice cheer. So we are Skagith, I don't know if you're on. If you wanted to assign which characters got your cheer for Thursday night, I was going to randomly do it for player characters. Jeff, if you want to give it to someone, let me know as well. I'll put it in the second group because the first group's almost done here at this point. Thanks, man. Just one of our best. So, yes. There goes Tom. So, we're nowhere done yet. Dude, oh, Skag, you didn't have to do that, but thanks, man. Thank you so very much. You know our true donations go right to, you know where they go? They go right to Children's Hospital, so thank you. Thank you so very much for that. And I try and match every single one of them. You are the man, and I love the stuff you do. I cannot wait. I'm going to do a shout-out here. Skagif's doing this cool Stargate RPG that Sprocket's going to play in. I can't wait to just watch it, man. It's going to be cool. Because, I mean, it's different. It's different than the normal thing. I can't wait to just sit down and just sit back and watch that. So you're going to let us know. You're going to let us know when that's on, Skag, and I guarantee you we'll auto-host that one, absolutely.
Jay wants to be Kurt Russell.
No, I'm James Spader. Come on. I always said I looked like James Spader back in the day, not now. All right, so Bill, anything else? Think of something else from 2018. And anyone else online? That's cool, Sprocket. What do you think, Bill? Anything else 2018 adventure-wise? I'm going to go back to an adventure in 2018 that I really liked that the Gray Company did. Why don't you talk about Deal or No Deal?
Oh, Deal or No. Well, that was mixed in with the expedition to the ruins of Greyhawk.
No, Deal or No Deal is separate, man. You got your extra house. Yeah, you got your extra house, the Gray Company.
Oh! Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. Yeah, well, that's leading up to stuff in the future, too. I mean, it was an adventure where we got asked to go retrieve something with no question, basically. And it ended up being a rod of rulership for the Beggars Guild, essentially, in Greyhawk City. So we know that there are things on the rise, and there's already disputes between the Assassin's Guild, the Bounty Hunters Guild, and the Thieves Guild, between Narwhal, Greyhawk, and Harvey. So
I just love causing trouble. You know, when you can cause trouble, is there anything better than causing problems for your characters in the future? So, a real quick synopsis of this one, Deal or No Deal. The group, The Gray Company, is a group of a lot of thieves types, and we hadn't used them for a long time.
Well, there was a lot of thief types, but that's kind of changed over.
It has, but with that, a gentleman, Fendon, came to them and said, I want you to recover something for me. I think it's hidden in one of the homes you own on the street. And that we did that all up in Miniature Building Authority. Kurt loved it and all. And so Divers Thieves showed up, and there was a big fight out in the street. They went down, and there was all these traps and all these, adiugs and all sorts of crazy stuff down there. And they went down, and they finally fought this guardian, a bunch of guardians that were in this tombed area. And it turned out that it was a rod of rulership, which everyone knows is a super powerful magic item. It was all encrusted like a beggar would encrust. And it turned out it was Theobald, the old years ago master of junk, who was killed by Aaron Toll back then, and it's back in old Greyhawk history. And this guy, turns out he's his son, come back to try and get revenge on everyone. They didn't know that, but they gave him it all, and he went off. He has his father's rod of rulership now from the King of the Beggars, and that's where we kind of left it off. But I'm working on some stuff in Greyhawk City, so we're going to have some high-level shit going around between all the guilds, and that's where that went. And that was Deal or No Deal. So that was a cool. Hey, Sky, thanks, man. I know you got to go. Thanks for the donation, man. Thanks for everything. And I'll see you soon, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we'll do a quickie last call. Any other thoughts, or before I go into 2019, any other thoughts or memories, or from anyone online who wants to chat, or from you, Bill? What do you think?
No, I mean, we covered a lot. It was a busy year. My memory is not what it used to be. I think it's old news for Bill. It was a big year. It was an exciting year. We've done some neat stuff. It's laid the footwork for the next couple of years worth of big adventures.
So I'll say this one last thing. I did one other thing that I thought was kind of cute. We did a lot of previous adventures, like we did this adventure, the one you're seeing now, the call from Clipdale. A character in our new first level came out of there, right? One of Tom's. Especially Priest of Tritherion came from Glipdale after he saw this fight and he saw the call. The one we did over Halloween, a tale of It Takes Two, a tale of love and horror. Millicent Von Kessel, my NPC, came out of that one. Finding Haru's Harn, the adventure where Harn, the champion's brother was turned into, it was the vampire. Walt's characters, new first, were kind of came out of that one. So I tied in adventures we were doing up to the first level. And that was kind of cool, trying to link everything together like you should in a campaign. So here comes 2019, Tom. Some things on the horizon. Some things I've worked on actually up till today. So let's start where we always start. We'll start with Anna. So Anna and I got to get together on some dates. We need to do a date on her channel and maybe one on mine. We'll see. We'll do a date, and we need to fill in some more spots on our map for locations that are custom to us on that big area map for Anna. Particularly Shieldlands, maybe some Vespi Forest, County Ulek locations. I gotta place back. They're gonna go back to some old adventures, but I should place them. I should place Crystal Lakes on the map, right? I should place all those places on the map. So that we need to do that. Tie that in with Anna, and this is going to take some planning. But we are going to do a through 2019. No date set on this. We are going to. Anna's going to, from scratch, with a lot of work and a lot of assistance from us, we're going to do it in broadcasts, create our city of Altamira, with all its locations on it from scratch. So we actually have like a map, which we've had really poor representations. I did one in Campaign Cartographer 20 years ago. It really sucked. So all I have is notes of all the locations down, because none of us players have the capability. So Anna's going to help us with that, and we're going to do that in 2019. Great, fun thing. We'll broadcast, at least on Anna's channel. We'll at least auto-host that. So that's something really fantastic that I'm looking forward to. All right. So another thing for Anna. I told her about this. Only going to tell you guys. You'll have to figure it out. Thursday night, at some point, I'm going to have a huge, maybe small, Anna Easter egg in our game, in our Thursday night game. You figure it out. That's all I'll say. There's an Easter egg coming. There's your hint. So, tie that in. I get the evil laugh. So have a nice Easter egg there. Okay. 2019. Now, we all know Gary Con's coming, and unfortunately I can't go. I'm working. Excuse me. I talked to Anna about this first, but we did some I've been planning this for 6 months, just in its infancy. We're going to do a mega broadcast shooting for March The tentative date is Saturday, March 23rd. I'll get that map sheet out. Saturday, March 23rd is the tentative date, and this is going to be a mega broadcast of at least 16 hours, starting with a different DM, different channel, all for the most part, with a different playstyle, a different edition, all about the same item story, running the entire day, all Greyhawk. Okay, so I'm working on this. I got Mark, of course, is going to do his Ohio group earlier in the day, and I'm going to finish it off in the evening. And I've reached out to DM Shane, I've reached out to DM Will to do the first part and the third part, and we'll see where that goes. But we want to run, and it's going to be something about it's going to entail an orb of the dragon kind, and we'll run this story, and you get to see Greyhawk all the way across its gamut of goodness, with all different DMs and all different play styles and all Greyhawk, all tied in one big. Kind of, it'll be disjointed a little bit, but a story about an orb of the dragon kind. So it's a pretty crazy undertaking to try and get this coordinated, but I'm crazy enough to try it. I think it would be unbelievable for the Greyhawk community. And if we get it approved, if we get everyone in on it, then maybe you guys that could announce it at GaryCon, and that's my goal, is to have this finalized soon. So that you guys could, in your consortium, whatever, at least announce this. We're doing this at GaryCon. So the tentative date right now is March 23rd. But I need buy-in from other DMs. I don't want this to be a LordGosumba channel thing. I want it to be other I want all sorts of channels. It can go longer than 16, but I don't know anyone who wants to start 4 a.m. and do that. If I can get a British time slot person, that would be great. And we can stretch it to 20 hours. But right now we're looking at 16, starting at 8 a.m. that Saturday morning, finishing up midnight. So my group will run 8 to midnight on that Saturday night. Mark will run noon to 4 p.m. Saturday, and you get the idea. So that's cool. Hopefully you guys like that idea. If someone wants to put a comment where they think that's a worthwhile undertaking, I just thought it would be something really cool and fantastic for the community. Just let me know, please. So that's what we're working on 2019. All the Greyhawk people together. One big happy family story. So, got another date. Anna has a conflict on this, but we're going to have on right now the date, and it's between no, Jeff, don't worry, that date's pretty much set. So okay, if not, we'll push it back an entire month. We won't go week to week. So but thanks, dude. I think it's going to be cool. So Sunday on a Gabbin, the 27th, the Sunday before the AFC Championship games and the Super Bowl, that dead Sunday, we're going to do our second DMs roundtable on a Gabbin show. Well, I know Anna may have a conflict. I got commitment now, counting me 3. I know Will definitely do it. And I'm reaching out to Ian, and I'm going to be at Skagith. Damn! I knew I was going to ask him something while he was on. I want Skagith on. I want as many DMs as I can get. What do you think, Bill, about that? Making it 7, 8, 9. I think it would be fantastic. Doing it double the size of the last one.
It'll be interesting to hear a couple different ideas.
Yeah. So the DMs roundtable now is set for Sunday, January 27th. I think that's going to be Gavin 31 or 2. We'll have all different DMs. Right now, the definite ones are myself, Mark, and Brian, DM Brian, who does a Star Wars one. They're the definites. And I know Will's probably going to be a definite as well. And like I said, Anna's got some family in, but we'll see on that. So that's another thing coming on for I knew I had to ask Skag or something, but that's okay. I'll get with him later on that. So, Bill, what do you got going on there, man? I know everyone wants to see what you're doing, so let's show everyone. Here we go. Let's see what Mastercrafter Bill's got in store for us. In store for Thursday as well. Here we go.
Alright, see, I gotta spin it around here. See, I just gotta line it up here. That's not what we'll see. You don't see my saw.
No, that's okay.
Do you see that there?
Turn it a little. Turn it a little. Right there. That's good. That's good.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is a tower for our campaign. It's an archer's tower as well as a school. So it's a new one I built it since the holidays. Use my new Roxxon saw, one of the greatest things ever. And I'm building a lot of let's see if we can scan out here. Dungeon tiles. See if we can see them over here. Like I said, I'm holding the camera.
That's good. No, I'll tell you when. That was good.
A lot of new stuff happening.
Okay, that was quick. Well, guess what? You'll see stuff. You'll see that stuff again. You'll especially the tower on Thursday. We'll, we got a whole. There's a whole thing going on with that, and I'll explain. You'll see as we go on that. And man,
well, it's separated in two pieces, so we can do half of it as one being built.
That's great. That's fantastic. Beautiful. So, yeah, Avatar. Hey, Avatar, you've been quiet tonight, man. Thank you so very much for coming on. I appreciate it. And Anna, Anna will tell you about that. But she says those maps on the walls are very low detail. Those big ones on cloth are so you're better off going with a smaller one in a frame or something like that, or So, yeah, she said yeah, that's cool, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much, man, for hopping on. So that's what Bill's got going on. I'm trying to think here. We're right at 9, so we're good. So we will continue Thursday night, and this is going to go on a while with beginnings. I'm so excited about developing these new first level groups, first level characters for everyone, with all the players and all the background they've done on it. It's perfect timing to kick off 2019. We got the first one in 2018. Now we can roll in 2019 with all this, and really have some fun with this, and see where it goes. Because this group's a little different. There's a lot of characters that do not want to be involved in this. So, Bill, what do you like about the new group already, and what do you dislike about it? Like character-wise, or yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be dysfunctional, but in this case, it's they put the call out, and basically, you got people who are going because they feel they have a duty to provide. You have people who are going because they think it's a way of making money, and then you have people that are headed there because, well, they're not given a choice. They're kind of being sent there to serve out a prison term. So I think it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of bumping of heads. There's going to be certain characters that probably won't adventure with other characters just because they don't like their personalities. We'll see how it rolls.
Absolutely. So, Avatar Wrath asked me a question, and I really, dude, no one has ever given an NPC a cheer point. And so that was great. I appreciate you liking that character. So Millicent, grew up in that, grew up by fire in that adventure, and to be honest, she's my favorite of the three. So she is a fighter. She only fights in right now. Everyone's fighting in crappy armor. She doesn't want to go in heavier armor. Studded leather is about as heavy as she wants to go because she wants people to think she's a thief. That's her thought process. Plus, she only got trained in the one weapon. She got trained by Master Duelist Gilliam in the city of Altamira because she stole a bunch of money from her father, right? So, and she got trained in that weapon. So she's specialized in Bastlord primary, Bastlord secondary, two-fisted fighting. That's her style. So, yep. So cool. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. So we'll see where that goes. But she's a kind of good character, so she's got good intentions at heart. There's a lot of no good characters in this group. Fritz, obviously. McOxen balls. Of course, Naz always busts Mark's play on words, but there's a lot of not good characters in this group. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's about as self-centered as you get.
Yeah, and we'll see how much more it is with him in the next group that runs. So, a quick synopsis. We're going to finish up the fight that's going on Thursday. Then we're going to go back to some RP in the keep, because this will be going on as this group is out. Then hopefully they'll send out the second group for another little mini adventure. Hopefully that'll get done. If it doesn't, we'll push it into next Thursday. But that's how it's going to run for these groups for a while. So the keep's going to stay up. The terrain's going to, we're going to do the side terrain as much as we can, and we'll run with that until we figure out. This is a sandbox, man. I got some adventures planned for these guys. Like I've said before, 2019, I have a goal to run something I haven't run ever, which is crazy, but I've never run against called the Reptile God. So I'm going to try and fit this into this group, okay, at some point. Also, this came out for 4th edition. This was a prelude to the Slavers, the A series, A0. I'm going to try and get this in sometime by Skip Williams. I'm going to try and get this in somewhere in this group too. But I got a lot of other stuff too planned for this group. But it's still a sandbox. I mean, I get to them depending on how it goes. So it's up to them where we run with this. So, what do you think, man? Great 2018. Met some friends. Made a lot of new acquaintances and people that I can just talk to now. Added an old player back into our group who we haven't had for years. And he's been fantastic, and it's been just a blast. Had fun with old players. Had a great time. I mean, Bill's made some unbelievable stuff. I mean, stuff that, I'm going to say this. I don't want to insult anyone. Man, you're getting the DM Scotty level, right? I think so. What does everyone else think out there? All right.
I have fun doing it, and it's my mental health break. I don't sell it. I just make it. I have fun doing it, and it's all for the game. You all contribute in different ways. Mine is whether it's figures or campaign ideas or terrain.
Thanks, Anna.
That's my contribution.
So I'll say this. I know he said no 100 times. I'm not going to badger him on this. I'd love to get him to do something with Jeff, because Jeff does great crafting work, maybe down the road. Maybe once a year. Just a crafting show with those gentlemen, Jeff and Bill together. I think that would be great, just showing what you guys do. Just paint. Who's Jeff? That's wrong. Jeff's our top cheerer of all time, man. So and runs and plays it. Yeah, Jacob Jansen. Come on. So thank you, everyone. No, we kind of ran a little late, but I said, hey, 9:30 would be good too. Thanks for bearing with me on my illness. If we didn't have any of you watching us and joining in with this would make no sense to do. So I just love that you've opened your time to us, and yeah, well, that's a good idea. Beside that, what about a Pinterest even? So Jeff has brought up a point. You should get an Instagram or Pinterest just to put up pics. He's right on that, because there's a different following in that. So Jeff, this is what we'll do. Yeah. Jeff, all right, so here's the thing. This weekend, if you can get some time, we'll all Skype together. Maybe Zoom at some point, right, Anna? And we'll talk and see if we can give him some ideas to get more of his content out. That's a good idea, Jeff, absolutely. We'll be switching over at some point, getting off the Skype and going to Zoom. I'm trying to hold off as long as I can, because of the cost involved with it. The one-on-one is and Anna knows this. She taught me all about Zoom. So, but thank you for everyone. Yeah, it's a great idea. Absolutely. At least get you. I know you have your own site on Facebook, but let's get you an Instagram thing, and Jeff will help you with that. Maybe we won't broadcast it. Just do it. I'll see everyone in 2 nights. Is anyone broadcasting? I don't think anyone's on now. So there's no one to really... Is anyone on right now?
I don't know, but the Curse of the Clown's on reruns, so I can watch it VDR.
Brett is... Will someone check and see what Will's doing? Is Will on gaming right now? Could someone let me know? Someone go to Wicked Studios real quick and check it and see if he's running. See, I don't want to raid someone that's not... if it's just a test or something. But if he's on running something, someone check for me real quick, please. We'll go over and we'll raid Will real quick. That would be fantastic. I love Allen too, and Vikings is on too. So thanks. See you in 2 nights. And he's not live. It's just showing. It's showing up as a 0 or something, or he hasn't come on yet. Okay. All right, Jeff. Thanks. I'll run my exit screen then. And thanks to everyone for coming on. See you Thursday and Sunday this week. No slap next Monday. They'll be on the week after Monday, but we'll have 2 contents coming up for you 2 nights, and then on Sunday. I'm J.K. LordGosumba. Bill the Master Crafter's on. From us, from Walt, Tom, Alan, Mark, and all the other people that we're associated with. Thank you for a wonderful 2018. Thank you for letting me share this year in review. LordGosumba channel and the Order of Ulek campaign. We're going to bring more of the content out to you and hopefully get it really out to the even to the wikis and to the Greyhawk Onlines. Thanks a lot, and we will see you very soon. Remember, it doesn't matter what edition it is. If it's Greyhawk, it's all good with us. Have a great night. See you soon.
From the edge of the sea, from the edge of time, beckons a destination, ancient, hidden, forgotten. This is Harbor Town. Harbor Town is an all-new series from Miniature Building Authority, the leader in tabletop gaming scenery. Unique, flexible, and playable, Harbor Town will take your games to